Did you know that 79% of internet users have an active YouTube account? Now, did you also know that YouTube has paid over $15 billion in 2021 last year alone to its creators? Now, did you know that YouTube is also available in over 100 countries and more than 80 languages, and you can start making money across all those marketplaces?
This is important because a traditional brick-and-mortar business takes 1 to 2 years to plan. It requires 5 to 20 employees and needs at least $50,000 to $200,000. A business will go at least 2 years without making a profit to get off the ground, and 80% of traditional startup businesses fail before the 2-year mark. Now, this is also important for you to know. The average startup YouTube automation business needs zero capital. You can start a YouTube automation business with less than $10,000. You can become profitable within your first year. You can work from anywhere in the world without having to shoot or record any videos yourself. And not to mention that you just need your laptop and an internet connection, and your income has no limits. Now, this is somebody who's been through this business and has been able to make it work. This is one of our students, Yuri, and we actually helped him to start making $200,000 per year at scale, not just on one, but on multiple YouTube automation channels. He's in his 20s and he's making more than doctors, lawyers, and bankers. He completely crushed it with YouTube automation simply because he believed in the concept. He went all in and went for it. Now, this is another person, Cattle, was able to completely change his life, quit university, and go on his own path because he was able to grow his income up to $60,000 per year through YouTube automation. And this is simply because he was committed to the business from day one and also kept pushing and pushing to make things work. Now, here's another student, Sebastian, sharing his experience and providing amazing feedback by saying, "I would like to thank you. You made a massive impact on me last week, massive action." And following up by saying, "This was one of the best decisions I have made in a long time. Now, we're a pretty big family, and our #1 job is to make sure that our student gets the best results possible."
So, in basic terms, YouTube Mastery is an educational company that helps people just like you scale YouTube automation channels to $5,000 per month in passive income, and most importantly, doing all this while saving time, money, and energy. We do this by providing all the tools, the knowledge, and most importantly, a step-by-step guidance to make it possible. Now, you might be asking, Guy, that sounds amazing. Congratulations, but how exactly can you help me start earning passive income through YouTube automation? Come, let me show you.
So right after I started my entrepreneurial journey and I decided that I didn't want to follow the traditional path and get a job, I was stuck. I was making about $1,000 per month from various different side hustles. I was telling all my friends and family that I would be successful. I'm an entrepreneur and I know exactly what I'm doing. I had no clue. My main income at the time was coming from Instagram theme pages, those motivational quotes / business typos you see all day long. Now, after being in that business for about a year and a half, somebody came to me and paid me to advertise this new business model called YouTube automation. After looking at the business and seeing the guy who advertised it, I was like, man, this doesn't really seem complicated. The guy doesn't seem to be a genius, and I thought I was neither. So this could happen. Next thing you know, I became a star. I was learning for 12 to 14 hours a day, every single day, watching videos, listening to podcasts, and taking actual classes, all for one result. That came 4 months later, 4 months after going all in on this new, never-heard-of business model called YouTube automation. I was making $10,000 per month, as you can see on the screen right now. And the best part is, I was only working a couple hours per week. I didn't need to show my face, edit my own videos, or even come up with my own ideas. Now, if you think that is too good to be true, I completely understand. I was in the same position as well. But wait, I'll show you how to do exactly that in a couple of minutes.
Now, you might be wondering, Guy, that's an amazing story, but how exactly can you help me? For a bit more reference, please keep in mind that I was broke, and all of a sudden, overnight, I started making 10 grand per month. I was blown away. I kept working and scaling, so I became obsessed with the process itself. I was documenting my journey all this time on Instagram, and all of a sudden a couple friends started asking me, how did you do that? And I showed them. I started teaching some of my friends exactly and how I was able to make money through reputable automation. And surprisingly, they got it. And then I started teaching a couple more friends and then more people, a couple strangers who paid me for my lessons. And again, surprisingly, they got results as well. So it was right around that time that I got this message.
Guy, I cannot believe, man, that we made over $60,000 in the past 6 months. That's my yearly salary. Right there you are. The man. Bless you. When he joined us, Mr. My Green was working as a driver for Amazon, working 8 to 12 hours every single day, and he wanted to start working less. So he started his YouTube automation channel to help him earn some money on it. A couple months later, though, we almost helped him make his yearly salary last half a year. And that was us working a couple hours a week on the side of his Amazon job. I was making about $20,000 per month while working a couple hours per week. And that was, with all honesty, more money than I knew how to spend. Most of my friends were going to bars and clubs, and I admit I tried it a couple of times, but it was not for me. I was getting nothing out of it, and I didn't enjoy it at all. On the other hand, I loved what I was doing with YouTube automation. I loved working. Over the next couple of months, I invested over $50,000 in coaches, mentors, and courses, and that's how YouTube Mastery was born. YouTube Mastery's mission is to help 1 million people take advantage of this massive opportunity called YouTube automation, achieve financial freedom, and live a meaningful life. Now answer me this. Are you somebody who has been trying to do things differently, to change your current situation, and every time you seem to be onto something, it simply doesn't work out how you expected? Somebody who is sick and tired of following the crowd, following society, actually wants to break out and do something new. If you're somebody who just wants to add more strategy to what you're currently doing and blow up your income, if that's you, you are definitely in the right place. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do just that. But as you might be asking, I'm going to show you here in a second exactly how we're going to do that. By avoiding 4 major pitfalls and 4 major mistakes that beginners usually make when starting their first YouTube automation channel, they're going to cost them a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of energy. Guys, the issue with the traditional way of being a YouTuber or an influencer nowadays is that it takes a lot of work to make money on YouTube that way. You need to learn how to research, script, film, and edit your own content. You need to give up 20 to 30 hours a week during this whole process. You constantly need to reinvent yourself and stay up to date with the trends, so you make sure you're now left behind, and also that you have no scaling potential because your business is now limited to you. And here's where YouTube automation comes into play. Providing the solution, simply put, is what a YouTube automation channel is all about. Instead of doing all the work ourselves, we hire freelance experts who can do the work for us while reaping the rewards. First, we need to hire a content writer to write the content for us based on research, experience, and personal knowledge. After that, we need the voice of our artist or a narrator with a good voice to simply read a script, something similar to what we're doing right now. Once that's done, a video editor takes both of the above and puts them together with slides, stock footage, screenshots, and effects to create the video. Last but not least, we need a graphic designer to do a cover image for us. Pretty straightforward, right? And you might be saying, Guy, this will cost a fortune. It actually costs us and all of our students on average $1.40 to complete a video from A to Z with everything that I mentioned above included. Now, only YouTube automation is much more scalable, much more profitable, easier to do, and more. But you are also creating a digital asset that has value in itself and can be sold for a yearly multiple. This business can be operated from anywhere in the world, as YouTube is available in over 100 countries. It doesn't matter which country you are from, you can make money on the global marketplace. We have students from the US, Canada, Europe, England, even Asia and Australia doing the same thing and getting incredible results. And the beautiful thing is that the algorithm works the same no matter where you are in the world. Here we have Eric, the first client to join our program from India. And before starting YouTube automation, he tried a lot of different business models, including job shipping, selling on eBay and Amazon FBA, but he couldn't simply make money with all of those businesses. It was too complicated. Although his budget was somehow limited by the currency discrepancy, we were able to help Mr. Eaton scale his channel to $100 a day in passive income within a couple of months. Now he's making $4,000 to $5,000, which in India, I assume, is worth much more. And we're super, super glad that we have been able to help him skyrocket his income. Here's also Debbie Patrick, who was able to retire and fill up her income and her pockets by starting a YouTube automation journalist business specifically for women. Debbie worked for decades in the corporate world. She had the 9-to-5 job or her life, and he wanted to, because she was not finding meaning in her work anymore. Not only that, she was able to do that, turn her free time into money, and make about $3,000 per month passively from the comfort of her home. But she's also having an impact on other women with her YouTube channel. Now here's the problem. Everybody looks to start a YouTube automation channel with the same video ideas. Have you ever seen motivational videos on YouTube? Maybe meditation videos, maybe rain sound videos, or maybe funny compilations. Exactly. Although many of these have high demand, they're also super competitive. Everybody and their mom want to start a channel like that because a lot of people see them. A lot of people watch them. A lot of people like them. So a lot of people are interested in starring them. They're expensive to launch and expensive to compete with. It takes a lot of time to see success. And everybody's probably thinking of doing the same exact thing. Let's take Tesla for. Tesla could have been another car company. However, instead, they look at how exactly to become different from everybody else. We have companies that have been in business for literally over 100 years now that are worth a fraction of what Tesla is worth. And it's only been in business for about 20 years. So when you think about the dynamics of how that was even possible, it was because they simply found the new niche. Exactly. As Warren Buffett says, it's not important how hard you rowed, but what boat you were. Now you might be wondering, what's the solution, Guy? We'll start with your hobbies and passions or even daily activities. Make a list of the top 10 niches that come to mind. Business. It's a great niche because we probably all work or own a business. Then let's say food, because we all have to eat, and add reading, fishing, and all the other hobbies that you might have. Once the list is done, ask yourself what issues you'd like to go into and cross all the others out. It's very important that you are very proactive. From the get-go, the next step is take each niche individually and look on YouTube to see what other competitors are doing that is exactly like what you want to do. In this case, competition is not a bad thing because it helps us come up with ideas for our own channel. Once you've done that, start your own channel, combining different ideas from different competitors. Differentiate yourself by adding value for the viewer, and there we go. Now remember, we need to differentiate ourselves a little bit from the crowd, but not reinvent the wheel, because as guys, we have simple skills and fancy fills. Natasha, one of our first female clients, was able to go from 0 to 1 million subscribers in less than a year. Her background is in music, helping music professionals and record labels, which might have helped her, but her commitment and perseverance were incredible. Not only that, she's been able to scale a channel from 0 to 1 million subscribers for herself, but she is also now helping other people start and scale their music channels, which is incredible. Congrats to you, Natasha. Nicholas also joined our program in the early days, and he was a crypto and real estate investor in Europe. But after starting and successfully scaling multiple YouTube channels and seeing the potential in this business, he decided to focus only on YouTube automation and cryptocurrency on the side, leaving all the other investments and side hustles that he had on the table because it was simply not worth it. Just by opening your channel and giving it a name, you won't start making money on YouTube. YouTube pushes 80% of the most recent videos at the back of the recommended and search lists, where probably nobody ever sees them, while the other 20% of recent videos get all the views. And you might be honoring, like, how exactly can we make sure that we are in the 12%? Just think about yourself. When was the last time you went on YouTube, Google, or Amazon and went to page 5 or 10 or 15 to search for a result? Usually we make the choice on the first page. Now here's the good thing. Compared to Amazon and other search engines on YouTube, you can actually rank without generating a lot of views up front. You can rank even if you have a couple hundred views, and let me show you how to do just that first. The title and the content have to be accurate and interesting enough to make people want to click on the video. Otherwise, anything else becomes irrelevant. You simply do this by looking at your competitors, analyzing what works for them, and simply modeling that. Keep it simple. Second, the description has to add a little bit of value to the viewer, and you can also make money by doing so. Feel free to add a quick summary of the video and maybe some useful feeder links and include some. Last but not least, your tag should be optimized to make sure we have congruence here and here. You don't need to dig deeper below their extensions like VidQ or TubeBuddy, who will simply come up with a tag for you. Alex is somebody who first learned this the hard way. After failing to be a YouTuber multiple times as a teenager, he discovered YouTube automation years ago and gave it a shot. He was posting 1 to 2 videos a week for a month or so, but after not seeing success, he eventually stopped posting because he was wasting his time, money, and energy. Exactly. As I told you before, he discovered us somewhere in the summer of 2020 and joined our program immediately when he found out what we were doing, and by the end of the year. He was able to rank multiple videos using the three-step process we discussed earlier, bringing him to over $8,000 in passive income per month, making him a six-figure business owner. And here we have Mr. Reacher, completely opposite of Alex. His initial goal of joining us was to be able to cover his living expenses, which at the time were about $2,500 per month. He found that process very simple and straightforward, and in less than 5 months, he was not only able to cover his living expenses, but also make $4,000 per month with a single YouTube automation channel, working a couple hours per week. The problem is that nowadays, everyone is an expert. You listen to 5 people with 5 different contradicting methods, or even worse, 5 wrong methods, and nothing works. It took me almost 2 years to go from $0 to $1,000 per month with Instagram pages, and the whole time I was working 8, 10, even 12 hours a day for that goal. When I started that business, I was listening to a guy who said that I should post daily, saying that the volume is the most important thing. But then I found an even bigger guy saying that the quality is more important than the quantity, and that I should not post more unless I have the best quality. And because I didn't have a clear vision of what I was doing or where I was going, I kept switching from method to method, trying to find success. But I never stuck with a single one and was truly committed. After finding YouTube automation, though, and deciding that I want to go all in on this business, I knew I had to do something different than what I had been doing because it was clearly not working. So completely opposite from my first business. This time I went out there, looked at different mentors, and picked the one with whom I wanted to work, so I found him. But most importantly, I started to listen to my mentor's advice. You probably didn't know this, but when asked, what's the most important thing if you want to become successful? Both Bill Gates and Warren Buffett said at the same time, focus. Now, focus can also be mentioned as following one course until successful. Not only have I been able to keep myself out of the rat race before even entering it, but I've also been able to give back to my family and those around me, which is my proudest achievement thus far. And here we have Kevin, who is perfect. Before starting to work with us, Kevin was listening to all the people on the YouTube channel and trying all the different strategies under the sun. He was not able to make anything work, though he tried, until he finally decided to make a change and go down a different path. He was able to make over $50,000 in profit and passive income in under a year after starting to work with us. He told us after he achieved his success that listening to one vendor only and not caring a whit about what everybody else is saying would help him prosper. We also have George, who unfortunately was scammed by another mentor in the YouTube automation for 8 long months. George was working every week to make things work, paying the mentor every month for his advice, but he couldn't stand it any longer. He chose to leave, never receiving his money back. But despite this unfortunate event, he still desired to become a successful YouTube automation, which is when he joined our community at YouTube Mastery. Not only have we been able to help George get the money he lost back, but he has actually made over $100,000. Since he joined, he started his first YouTube automation channel, and now he's super committed and super glad that he took the leap of faith. So right now, you basically have 2 options. Option number 1 is to go on this alone, which is more stressful. Obviously, there's no guarantee of results, and it's definitely painful, very expensive, and pretty long, as no one can actually guarantee what's going to happen on the other side. Even should you have gone through the steps, or option number 2, we could go at it together, and this is going to be a lot more fun and enjoyable and a lot more affordable, much faster, and definitely making fewer errors. And this is not because we have a simple magic pill. It's simply because we've done this hundreds and hundreds of times for hundreds and hundreds of students who have gone through the same exact process, and we pretty much have the shortcut. So if you're actually smart and we choose option number 2, you might be wondering how it looks on the other side and what the time frame for everything looks like. Here's exactly how it looks. So the first step would be helping you get rid of any beliefs that don't serve you and that might be holding you back, and then building new ones that will take you to new heights. Step number 2 is simply going to be helping you create your YouTube automation channel ready to start making money and get you settled on the platform, showing you how that's done step by step, the turfing, and probably the most exciting part, finding your niche, finding the differentiator, how to add value, and how to make sure that we stand out from the competition. Going to step 4, we have to put together a team of freelancers who know exactly what they're doing, negotiate the best prices with them, and make sure that they can actually create the videos exactly how we need them to look. Last but not least, step number 5 would be to start posting our videos and doubling down on them to scale to their maximum potential and show you exactly how that's done. So if this sounds like you, and you are someone who is simply sick and tired of doing the same exact thing, and you want to do something different, you want to break out, you want to add strategy to what you're currently doing, or you simply want to take over your finances, then let's get started. And I can almost promise you that this is going to be the best decision that you take for you and your future this year. Now, before we move forward, I just want to make sure that we are both on the same page. This is for you if you want to impact your life and your financial situation and take control over your life. This is also for you if you want to add a second or third stream of passive income. This is also for those who understand that this is a business and will not get reached quickly overnight. As this is exactly as it is live, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You also understand that this is simple but easy. You're resourceful. Don't take no for an answer. And understand that income potential is uncapped by work commitment, and most importantly, finances are needed to get started.
All right, so as I mentioned earlier, if you're somebody who just wants to go from 9 to 5, living from paycheck to paycheck, to simply being able to predict your income, have a second source of passive income on the side, without you having to work 8, 10, or 12 hours each and every single day, I would love to meet you in my program. Please feel free to go to ytmastery.io or simply click the link below this video, guys, where you'll be able to join hundreds and thousands of students making 5K plus a month. So again, go to ytmastery.io or simply click the button below and join this ultimate YouTube automation mastery program for less than $200 and get exclusive access to a private Discord community where you can actually connect with like-minded creators and get personalized support from our team. Plus, every month we add new lessons, new strategies to the course to keep you ahead of the curve. So don't miss this out. And this opportunity is once in a lifetime, so keep in mind that this offer is available only for a limited time.